Strange.
Vice Mayor Strange, you'll address her properly.
You can kiss my foot.
Mr. Rickard, you're out of order.
FBI, we are asking you to investigate this council. Please look into this council, how they award contracts, the bid process, how they use their positions to benefit their friends and themselves, how they use their positions to attack residents and critics and neighbors and business competition. FBI, will you please look into this?
And I welcome the FBI here. If you notice, Mr. Thompson, with his plea for the FBI and his watchdog group, this city runs the cleanest in this whole county. I guarantee
He was served a federal subpoena this morning.
Did receive a subpoena this morning, and we're going to cooperate 100% with the subpoena. And
most of you who were involved up here, you gaslighted me. You tried to say I was crazy. And now we know that that's not true. And there's a lot of other issues I've been asking about as well.
So I'm going to show you a couple of things tonight I think you're really going to enjoy. One of the things that the state of Florida is proud of is its public record laws. In Florida, the state has some pretty good public record laws. And one of the most important things, there's two really important ways to keep government honest. All right, the two most important ways for a journalist. The first one is public records, right? If you want to look into something, if you want to trust but verify, if you've got suspicions about something, or you want to understand something better, you look at the public records. We found so much wrongdoing in the city of Panama City Beach back in 2017, to the point that Panama City Beach changed its public record law policies. It's Resolution 17-146. And they charge, you ready for this? There are, I always say the number and now I can't remember the number. Gosh, I can't remember how many cities there are in Florida. Hundreds. Anyway, I say it in the comments when I went up to the city council yesterday, something like 465. Gosh, I can't believe I can't remember that. But there are a lot of cities in Florida, and Panama City Beach charges more than any of them. Panama City Beach, I believe, has a resolution that violates state statute. So I keep asking. I keep doing my best to get through to them. They claim that they had a conversation, an email conversation back in 2017 with the Attorney General's office. And sort of have said, well, they blessed our policy. They know how long it takes for us to review for extensive requests. Extensive requests are any requests, they say, that are more than 30 pages. Anything more than 30 pages, they claim, is an extensive public record request, and they'll charge $57 for every 30 pages after that. $57 for every 30 pages. I'm talking digital copies, not printouts. They claim they have to take 2 minutes to review every single page to make sure there's not confidential information or sensitive information. Every single page, whether they're blank, they've charged for blank pages, whether they are agendas, they charge. So I'm going to show you what actually happened, because I asked the city. I've been asking the city for more than 3 months. I think it's about 3 months. For 65 pages. I wanted those emails between City Attorney Amy Myers and the Florida Attorney General's office that had to do with this. There were 65 pages of emails that went back and forth, and I wanted to see them to find out if that's really what they told. What the Attorney General told the city of Panama City Beach. Yeah, 30 pages in an hour seems reasonable. I didn't believe it. Well, the city said I could only get it if I gave them $57. So I finally asked the Attorney General's office. And of course, the Attorney General's office didn't charge me anything. So I got them all. And now I can see why they didn't want me to have it. Now let's take a look at what the Attorney General's office has to say about open government. So this is their open government page. And I'm just going to read you the paragraph. Florida is proud to lead the nation in providing public access to government meetings and records. This website is designed to help government agencies, the media, and private citizens understand Florida's open government and public record laws. Government must be accountable to the people. The Florida Constitution, which sets forth our rights as citizens of this great state, provides that the public has the right to know how government officials spend taxpayer dollars and make the decisions affecting their lives. The principle of open government is one that must guide everything done in government for its public. And then it even has a mediation program, which is what these emails were about. There was a lady who wanted to get mediation because the city was going to charge her more than $6,000 for public records. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that. I was going to tell you there are two things that are important to honest government. The first one is access to public records. The second one is sources, confidential sources that are willing to tell you things and give you things inside city government or any government. That's what you see a lot with Project Veritas with James O'Keefe. He has confidential sources, and thank God in America there are laws that protect confidential sources. When former councilman in Panama City Beach, Hector Solis, sued me, he demanded, as part of discovery, who was giving me information inside City Hall. He wanted all the emails. And even Judge Fensom in the 14th Circuit, who is now retired, even Judge Fensom said, no, those are protected. So if you work in city government or in local government and you know of wrongdoing, corruption, criminal activity, you can contact me. And the best way to contact me, and I'll get it right, is on my encrypted email service. It's called Proton, P-O-R-T-O-N, Proton Mail. And you can send it to Bernie Thompson at protonmail.com. I screwed that up last time several times, but it's Bernie Thompson at protonmail.com. And that's encrypted. So that's exactly what James O'Keefe uses, as a matter of fact, Project Veritas. So now I'm going to show you what I told the city council yesterday, and I'm going to show you these emails, these documents, and what was inside these documents that the city of Panama City Beach so badly wanted to keep away from me because they violate the principle of open government. I think they violate the statute of public record laws in the state of Florida. And I'm going to show you right after this.
Hand caught in the cookie jar? Sometimes bad habits continue even into adulthood. I'm El Saline, 850-215-0628. Let me help you.
It's a hot time in Florida, and my friend Ryan can make sure your air conditioning is running at peak efficiency. He could even install a new one, built to a higher standard, American standard. Find out more at pcairrepair.com. So I'm also going to show you, by the way, Mayor Mark Sheldon in Panama City Beach. He is very, very sensitive about the nonprofit he had from 2020 to 2022. It was a softball nonprofit, and now he's pushing all kinds of softball stuff with the city. He transferred ownership in February of this year. And every time I bring it up, he flips out. And all I did, geez, you'll see, I just was asking him, were you funding your softball nonprofit called Florida Elite Softball, IOU? They flip out when I say IOU. It looks like IOU. It's 10U, 10 and under. Get it right, Thompson. What kind of journalist are you? Florida Elite Softball, IOU. I'm telling you, they flip out. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. Wait till you see his reaction to that too. But let's see. It's not showing me my preview tab here. Let's see if I get the right. Oh, there we go. Yes. Okay. Here's what I had to say yesterday regarding the public record laws. Hello, I'm Bernie Thompson. I'd like to address Resolution 17146 again. That is your policy on public records. In 2017, you changed your policy on public records. There are 467 cities in the state of Florida, and you all charge more than any of them for public records. You charge for digital copies of public records, not just the copies that the statute allows you to charge for. You say that it's extensive if it's more than 30 pages. So you charge $57 for 30 pages. Now, in 2017, your attorney, Amy Myers, was talking to the Attorney General's office about this issue because you had charged $8,000 or something for public records, and a lady was trying to get mediation, and the Attorney General's office was talking with Attorney Amy Myers. I've been asking for those 65 pages of public records. You say, sure, just give us $57. Well, I decided I'd ask the Attorney General's office for these public records, and they didn't charge me anything, of course, just like you shouldn't charge anything for 65 pages of public records. Now I understand why you didn't want me to see these public records, because in these public records, the Attorney General is what I mean to say, the Attorney General in the state of Florida, it was their office. They said that they actually usually review about 500 pages an hour. Well, she advised your attorney to give it a shot and see what it comes out to. So she did in 2017. And you reviewed about 254 pages in an hour. Now, the trick you played was 36 emails. Each of those emails had about 7 pages. So what you told the Attorney General office in the state of Florida is that you could review 254 pages in an hour. But it was 36 emails. So then you made the policy and you decided to charge $57 for 30 pages when we know that you can do at a minimum 254 pages in an hour. Can you tell me why you're doing that and why you told the Attorney General that you could do 254 pages and now you charge the public for 30 pages? I'd love to know that answer. Boy, would I. Boy, would I love to know that answer. I mean, we know the answer, right? We know the answer because they believe that the public records belong to them. And they use cost as a barrier. And it won't work forever. It's not going to work forever. I'm doing all I can in a reasonable way to ask, everything. Doing everything I can, aren't I? So it'll change one way or the other. Hopefully it'll change the easy way and not the hard way, because those are our records, damn it. You know what's interesting is when the city of Panama City Beach was served a federal subpoena for public corruption in 2020, August of 2020. Yeah. Every single member of the council since January of 2016 had to comply with this sweeping subpoena, federal subpoena into public corruption. Every one of them. And there were, I think 27, if I remember, it's like 27,000 pages of text messages and emails that the FBI took, that the city gave to the FBI. And every media outlet, including me, asked the city for those public records. The city wanted, I don't remember how much it was, $30-some thousand or something. It was unbelievable. And 16,000, I don't remember. It was unbelievable. And the news outlets, WMBB, WJHG, the newspaper, all of them said, gee whiz, that's too much. And none of the news outlets did a story on how the city of Panama City Beach is using cost to hide public records. Not one of them, because they're public-private partners with government. Because Mark Sheldon, the mayor, gets $1.5 million every year from the Tourist Development Council to his companies to present Gulf Coast Jam and Sand Jam. He's been getting $1.5 million a year to his companies, the mayor, since 2015. Then he takes that money, part of it, and he spends it on marketing outside of the area to the parent companies of the news. Then the parent companies say, don't you blow that deal, right? We don't mess that up. And therefore they don't do critical news stories because they're public-private partners and whores. That's why. And because of that, citizens and residents of this area are not able to hold government accountable because there are no watchdogs in Panama City Beach. News outlets are supposed to be watchdogs of power, but instead they are straight up PR firms. Whatever government agencies send to the news outlets, they publish the press release as though it's news. That was the number one lesson I learned in journalism. I have a master's in journalism from USC in Los Angeles. And that was like the first lesson that I learned is you do not take a press release and treat it as it's news. You scrutinize it. You ask questions about it, but you don't get that here. And that's part of the reason you ask why people get elected here who are not serving the people. That's one of the biggest reasons why. All right, I've got to show you this very short video where I asked, and I ran out of time, but watch how he freaks out when I ask Mayor Mark Sheldon about that nonprofit that he had. This is going to get hot. This topic right here is going to get hot. Here you go. This was last night. Oh man, he was ticked when I asked this question. I noticed, Mr. Mayor, that just months after you began your nonprofit, Florida Elite Softball in 2020, just months later, you had posted with a mayor's hat on and a Gulf Coast Jam shirt on. What a great organization it was, and it was benefiting. Are you funding? Are you funding?
Thank you for your comments.
nonprofit?
Thank you
with
for your
the
comments.
TDC?
Your time is up.
Are you
Thank
funding
you.
the nonprofit?
Sir,
with
your
the
time is
TDC?
up.
I got the question out.
Sit down.
and we'd
Your
like
time
to
is
know.
up.
We'd like
Your
to
time
know.
is up.
I understand.
Thanks.
I'll be back.
Can't wait. Anybody else?
Does that look like a mayor who is serving the people? You know, you get these mayors like Jesse Nelson and Lynn Haven who say, you know, you're just stirring the pot or you're keeping an accusatory question is what Jesse Nelson calls it. An accusatory question. You ask accusatory questions, Mr. Thompson. Answer them and they go away because I'm wrong sometimes. What? Hey, listen, I am the first one to admit when I'm wrong. I'm just usually the last one to know. That's all. You know, that's how it works. All you got to do is say, no, look, idiot Thompson. They don't do that, do they? By the way, I recorded about a 90-minute conversation with Commissioner Griffiths and the county manager in the county commission and the budget director about the missing 8.7 million. I'm reviewing that and they think, well, I say they, I guess whoever hates the truth and their supporters, they think that I got information during that meeting that refuted that. No, I'm putting that together for you. So that's coming up. And again, you won't believe the answers, but just watch again this ending here. This ending is amazing. Hey, are you funding your baseball nonprofit that you had? Were you funding that with the TDC money through the TDC, through Gulf Coast Jam to your softball nonprofit that in that picture you didn't say was yours.
Your time is up.
Are you
Thank
funding
you.
the nonprofit?
Sir,
for
your time is
CDC?
up.
I got the question out.
Sit down.
And we'd
Your
like
time
to
is
know.
up.
We'd like
Your time
to know.
is up.
I understand.
Thanks.
I'll be back.
Can't wait. Anybody else?
Now, the reason that these guys get elected and reelected, and I don't know if he would or not, but he might, if he decides to run again. That's another question. But the reason that he can do that with confidence is because all the news outlets who are watching, who are there, they're not going to ask that question. Do you think if that was in the newspaper, that question on the TV news outlets, do you think that he would be able to do that? Do you think if authorities who are investigating this public corruption were getting to it, do you think he'd be able to do that? We know the answer to that. All right, let's see. Let me catch up. That's awful nice. It looks like you and I have had a problem, a Facebook user. It means that I've blocked you or you've blocked me, one of the two. But I appreciate that and thank you very much. Yes, it is part of the racket. That's a big part of the racketeering. And it is a Nancy Pelosi move. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? You notice how sometimes he'll let others go over a little bit, and he never answers my questions, but he will answer other people's questions. We know why. I don't know what's been going on. Honestly, I don't know exactly the details of that, but they haven't been consistent, have they? All right. I want to thank those of you who support my efforts and allow me to do this for you. Don't let back pain and neck pain get you down. Find relief at Brown Chiropractic Center on St. Andrews Boulevard in Panama City. Dr. Sherry Brown helps people heal naturally with chiropractic adjustments and deep tissue massage. Call 769-3777.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome.
Hey, I was just thinking about something. I ask you sometimes to follow my YouTube page because I don't do as much on YouTube and I don't have nearly as many subscribers on YouTube as I have with you here. But here's an incentive for you. If you want to know what the hell have you been doing in the past, Thompson, in the past, I don't know, 8 years, something like that, they go down a ways. I mean, you can go all the way down and see what I was talking about in 2014, 2015. You can see depositions. When I got sued, I videotaped the depositions and I was my own attorney. I mean, there's good stuff on the YouTube page. You can just scroll down and take a look at those videos. And I hope that you will. And I hope that you'll subscribe to the page because I want to get the word out more. So if you go to YouTube and subscribe, that would make me awfully happy. And if you want to support my efforts directly, here's how you can do it. You can become a patron at patreon.com. It's kind of like a tip, as little as $5 a month. It's the best money you can spend on the internet. I promise. And help support my efforts. It's anonymous. It's easy and you can quit at any time. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. And as always, thank you to the Unknown Patriot who helps support my efforts, the Unknown Patriot. I'm going to take off, short show, but I just had to share that with you. I hope you have a great Friday night and a great weekend. And I've got a lot coming up for you very soon.